Hello Aries, and welcome to the Mystic Messenger Tarot. This is your reading for June 2018, and I didn't really look up a whole lot of planetary stuff, but Uranus moved into Pluto, which is the planet of endings, beginnings, and can be very destructive. And it looks like right after that happened, the volcanoes started going off. We have Pele going off in the United States. There's some rumbling in Lake Taupo in New Zealand, as well as stuff happening in Japan. So as soon as that shift happened, the plates started shifting as well. So be prepared. The volcanoes are going off. It doesn't mean I'm a naysayer or a doomsdayer, end of the world. Just live our best life. But I would say that every day is a day to live our best and live in our greatness. Live in our greatness. So, all right, Aries. Let me just finish the shuffle here. Okay, I'm going to find my space. Call in all the planets, all the directions. What is above, so it is below. And this is a reading for Aries for June 2018. Okay, looking into the distance, into the future, making some of those changes. Good job, Aries. Jumping into your fear and letting go of some of the legacy issues, shall we say. Okay, floating a little bit, not knowing which direction to go. We have the King of Wands. And we have the Three of Wands. Some fire here. You got a lot of fire here. The Star, giving to yourself first. The Two upside down, could be making some changes in the relationship space. Okay, and we have the Seven, Page of Pentacles. Usually pages can be messages. Pentacles are usually good news. So that's great. And the King of Cups. So it looks like some changes are happening between you and the King of Cups. Okay, let's see what that looks like. Let's jump right into it. Here is the Two of Wands. Wands are motion, fire, changes, ideas, creating your brilliance. It also looks like you are looking at the world a little differently now. You put down some of your fears, made some of those changes already. So trying to fill in the gaps of the things that you released. So it looks like the last couple of months you've been really speaking your truth, making those changes. There's some legacy things here, and legacy things can be alcoholism, carrying through, maybe your mother or father did something a certain way that isn't beneficial to you. It could be how you respond to things, either with anger or not. So you have made some changes on the legacy level that no longer serve you, and they're just family patterns that have just always been there. Maybe they weren't beneficial, but you just did them because it's always been there. But you've made those changes. So you may be looking at some addictions, you may be looking at emotional changes, or going into counseling, something like that. But you have made a concerted and an honest effort to really look at the things that you need to change to better your life and to better your family too. So continue looking at those changes, but don't be afraid to take a step into your greatness and to release the rest of the things that don't serve you. Something's coming to me that this may require movement. This may require a new house, a new job, something that you've always wanted to do but were too afraid to do. So it could be going back to school for those that have had a career in a certain thing and kind of bored in that, but it's taking a chance. This is taking a chance and investing on yourself and your changes. So what crosses you is kind of maybe not knowing which way you're going, floating a little bit. This is a 6. So, but it does look like there may be a bit of energy coming towards you and you feel a little bit defensive. It may be that you're making amends for some behavior that that was really out of pocket. And so you're floating a little bit before you make some decisions, and you may not really know what direction you're going, but Spirit will tell you. But now it's time to just float a little bit. If you don't have to make a decision right away, don't. I know fire signs really do things very spontaneously, so think about the change before you jump into the fire, sweet Aries. And just float a little bit and see what is presented, so you have maybe more than one choice. So, and this may require some movement, either new house, new job. This is also validating that there's something new in the wings for you. It's not quite ready for you yet, but it's coming more and more and more into focus. So don't be afraid to make those changes and to start cleaning out that closet to get the motion going in your life. Take that first step into change. King of Wands is above here. This can stand for you, Aries. This is a fire sign. This Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And it's feeling like take the high road. Take the road of integrity. Start the motion, but make sure when you do start the motion that you're not taking anybody else prisoner. That harms none kind of thing. Make the effort for yourself. Put yourself in the priority position, but harms none. Make sure you're not stepping on anybody else while you're making those changes. Kings are those of high integrity or a lot of life experience. Can be someone over 40. But this really does feel like you. This feels like Aries. It's time to take the high road. And if somebody's throwing verbal daggers at you or saying cutting words, you take the high road. You grab your moral integrity. You are growing from this. So don't get into the low level stuff again, because you just climbed out of that. But it does feel like you have been really looking at family legacy things, habits, addictions, things that aren't working. Can be relationships, that can jobs. In the relationship space, it could be the love relationship space, it could be your sex partner, or it actually can be family members that you need to change the dynamics a little bit. And, for many moms and dads, sometimes it's not over helpfulitis to our children. So there are things that we need that actually, Aries, you need to change. If you've been paying your kids rent for way too long and they're capable of doing that, pull back. Let them feel hunger and cold. That is how they learn. That is how they grow. So I encourage you, Aries, to put yourself first this time around and make those changes. Do not avoid the changes, because doing nothing is a choice, and Spirit comes right in and makes those changes for us, and usually not to the betterment. It's usually even more of a challenge rather than a benefit if we do nothing. Okay, so this is a 3. Let's see, I think you have another 3 in here. Nope. But it looks like you have really embraced those changes, let go of some, and this also is lighting up for this legacy thing, this wand. So motion is kind of dictated here. You've got motion going. That maybe you have avoided. But it looks like you have made some changes. It could be as simple as cleaning out the garage, but you have made some changes and released some energy. Continue to do that. It looks like you're hesitant on making this big change that you've kind of separated yourself emotionally from. This could be a job, this could be a spouse, but you have not stepped into the motion. Time to step into the motion. And say those words of finality that you need to, and make those changes. It can be as simple as applying for another job, making it known that you would like to make these differences instead of holding them in. There is some frustration here. There's a little bit of anger that you're working through, but ultimately this green is showing up for me, that through all of the trials, tribulations, and frustrations, you are growing despite not wanting to. Sorry, Aries. But you are growing and the change is happening. So it does look like you are embracing your bravery and starting to get antsy and really want to see the change. So start jumping into what you can change and what you can release. So delineate what is yours to change and what never really was yours in the first place, and let that go so you have more space and room for yourself. You know, even when a plane is going down, we're supposed to put the oxygen masks on ourselves first. So please, Aries, put that oxygen mask on yourself. Let some of the things fall. You'll be surprised at how capable people are around you when they're in survival. When it's food, shelter, you know, people figure out how to take care of themselves. And it looks like people have been relying on you a little bit too much for things that they can do themselves. Okay, the star here is kind of another continuation on the theme of giving to yourself. See, she's pouring out all of her energy and her love, but none of it is going to her. The star is new beginnings, bright ideas, something that's just hanging there, waiting for you to grab. So take that focus, put it on you, make you the star. Bring some of that energy down from the heavens and give it to yourself. You have a lot of really great, bright ideas. Now it's time to take this energy that you've been given either to your kids, your boss, your spouse, your friends. Everyone is coming first except you. Time to make that change. You need to come first. Put the oxygen mask on you and embrace that idea. Nurture it till it grows. See what happens. But you've been nurturing everyone else but yourself. Time to nurture you and to get it done. Get her done, man. Get her done, Aries. Time to focus on you and create your wildest dreams that you've always wanted to. Yes, you will be fearful. Do it anyway. If the road doesn't work out that you pick, turn back and pick a different road. There are always more than one choice in this world. Always more than one. Even though if it looks like a singular idea, there is always more than one. So embrace yourself. Make yourself the star of your own play. And let everyone else fall. They'll learn to pick themselves up. They will learn. But they will never learn if you keep wiping butt. Never learn. So, and you're right at that point anyway. You're kind of like, oh, God, I'm tired of doing this all the time. So, let them handle it. Whether it's your kids, your parents, your boss, your friends, whatever it is, whoever it is, make you the star. Okay, this is the Two of Cups. This is unity and love and working together. It is upside down. So, it does look like you either have a friendship, a love relationship, could be your children, could be your spouse, but it looks like there's a bit of discord there, and it's time to come to agreement. It's okay to agree to disagree so you can move on, but it does look like you're in this perpetual argument about something that really doesn't make any sense in the future. It really has no bearing on your future. It looks like getting stuck in some nitpicky stuff. Step back, look at the big picture. Is it really that important? But it's time to release some of the frustration, release some of the control. What's coming to me very clearly is if you do not release some of this frustration and the nitpicky stuff, this medical sign is lighting up for me. It will affect you medically. So whether that means creating dis-ease in your body in the form of an ulcer, cancer, headaches, not being able to sleep, it will perpetuate dis-ease if you hold on to these control issues. And that's what it feels like. It feels like some control issues. Let that go. Let it go and see what happens. You will never know unless you let it go. So see what happens. And that's coming up for you. And it looks like you've been kind of at a loggerhead. You've been bumping heads with somebody for a while. So just let it go. Let it go. Make you the focus. Make you the priority. Your wildest dreams, your creations, and your bucket list. Time to look at the things that you need for you and not paying so much attention to other people. It's none ya. It's none your business. You are your business. So make you a priority, basically. Make you a priority. So what is the base of all this is fear. This is the 7. And this can stand for fear of theft, but it is fear. It is fear of manipulation. It's a fear of someone taking advantage of you. And put that fear down and make the change anyway. It's time to broaden your scope from just the little things and the small things that have been in your way. It's time to let the fear go and march through that fear and make those changes anyway. Yes, you may fall, but you may pick yourself up again as well. And fearing how this change is going to affect others has really kind of held you in a state of non-motion and non-growth. So release that fear so you can grow, see what happens, take a chance, and walk through the fear. Page of Pentacles here. This can stand for children. Pentacles are earth signs. They are Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. So maybe these changes that you're making, you're fearful that it will disrupt the children. So if many of you are looking at making a change in your relationship space, either divorce or separation or changing partners, walk through that fear. You know, nobody's happy if mama and daddy ain't happy. So the Page of Pentacles can stand for children, and that looks like it is on top of this fear. But pages are also messages. Pentacles are good news, intelligence, can be money or goods and ambition. So this is good news. It's really feeling like once you make the commitment to that change, that you will see the good news coming to you exponentially. As you make each change, you'll get validated that you are either on the right or the wrong path. And so you can make your shifts accordingly. But it does feel like some good news is coming as you make these changes. So please don't stay in the fear, sweet Aries. You are one of the most powerful signs that we have out there. And you jump in where angels fear to tread. So please do not sacrifice your happiness by not jumping into some of the things that you're fearful and that you need to make those changes. So it does look like acquiring new habits, new ways of doing things, speaking those words of love and wisdom, speaking the truth that you've held down for a long time to make those changes, and making you a priority. So what is happening here in the fears position is the 8. So it does feel like you are feeling a little trapped in the situation, whether it's a job, a marriage, a relationship, single motherhood, single parenthood, but it does feel like you're not being heard, that you don't have choices, and that you are almost a prisoner. Or it feels like you are a prisoner, but by making no choices and making nothing different, you will continue to feel helpless in this situation. So I encourage you to take a step into your future. Even though it feels like you're trapped, you're really not. You do have an exit. You do have an exit right there. So it's just really making the decision to speak from your heart and to jump through the fear to make those changes. The King of Cups is right here. This is a water sign. That's Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. It can stand for someone who is exalted. It can be a mentor, a wise one. It could be as simple as just someone over 40. So Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio again. But this does look like this person has something to do with the change or not changing. But it does feel like you are butting heads with this King of Swords, and you're kind of both in this ego space instead of this love space. So put the ego stuff down, the I want to win stuff down, and really look at each other with an open heart. Both of you want to make these changes. So coming from a place of love and understanding is where it will grow from. But right now you're in this perpetual state of static. It feels like static, and that you're bumping heads. And for those of you not in a relationship, it can be work related. It can be, for those, you may be a caretaker, and this is your person that you're caretaking, and something is happening and they are not hearing the changes that you need to better yourself. So just keep on your path, whether they hear you or not. They may need something spelled out for them a little bit clearer, but ultimately you are trying to find your balance and make some changes to better you and to better your world. And if they can be on board, great. And if not, you may have to leave them in the dust. That's just the way it is. But the 2 here, 2 stand for balance. You have a 2 here, a 2 here, and a 2 here. So you're really looking for a new place of balance, a new place of calmness for yourself, making those changes, finding the being equal in the world, being equal in a relationship, feeling the honoring if you are challenged at work. But the 2 of Pentacles is really finding balance. Mind, body, spirit. It does feel like money is coming up here, and you may be fighting about money. That's a physical thing. Don't let that stand in the way of your greatness or making the changes that you need to. It also looks like redoing your bucket list. This can stand for 2 things. This is a wonderful card. It is the 7 of Cups. And the cups, that's our wishes and dreams and filling our cups up with our desires and what we like to do. So you may need to make a new bucket list. You are no longer the same person you were even a year ago, let alone 10 years ago, or 20 years ago when you first started thinking of all the things you wanted to do. You have met and mastered many of those things, so it's time to create a new bucket list. What do you want to do? What are your wildest dreams? That's the positive side of this card. The negative side of this card is time to look at reality. Time to see things as they really are and not as you wish them to be. So if you're in a relationship that's really not benefiting you or the other person, it's time to be honest about it. It's time to let go. If the job isn't working for you and you're just telling yourself, this will get better, and it's just getting worse and worse and worse, you need to look at how it really is, not how you wish it to be. So Aries, that is a reading for June. I'm going to throw these angel cards here for clarity. These were gifted to me a number of years ago. I don't really use them that much because the deck is so cumbersome and they're hard to shuffle. So, alrighty then, we'll just do these. The first one is the Chariot. The second one is the Dreamer. So that really kind of validates what's been going on. It's an important, the Chariot is for the Archangel Metreon. An important achievement, some self-discipline and willpower, and will bring public recognition. So it's time to put forth a little willpower and continue on those changes. Don't just start them and let them go, Aries. I know sometimes you're not hung up on that completion thing, but it's really time to continue and to complete this part of the journey. The second one is the Dreamer, or the Archangel Metreon. So you got both Archangels Metreon. A leap of faith, follow your dreams, and unexpected opportunities are right there for you. So you got to take a step into your greatness to really embrace this Archangel Metreon. Make those changes. All right, sweet Aries, that is a reading for the month of June. I'll be back at the end of this month for your July reading. If you like what you heard, please like, share, and subscribe. And in the meantime, live life gently, but with fire. Namaste.